Beyond the block is the best way to learn more about other people, besides going to their country and talking to their people.
Beyond the block just helps you see the different places like that you don't usually hear about, like Dominican Republic. You don't hear too much from that kind of country, what they're about.
Well, Beyond the Block was a really great experience for me because I learned about a new culture that I've never learned about.
I came up with the name of the organization, Beyond the Block, because as a counselor, I had many students who, for one reason or another, could not go beyond their own blocks, their own neighborhood. For some, it was financial constraints that held them back. For some of them, they didn't even have the money to take the bus to the beach. I worked with many students in Los Angeles who had never even seen the ocean before. For some of my students, what held them back was safety. If they left their neighborhood, they were crossing into rival gang territory. And so a lot of them remained virtually isolated in their neighborhoods because if they would enter into another territory, whether they were associated with a gang or not, they could be asking for problems, they could be attracting problems. A third reason why a lot of my students never traveled beyond their blocks was just because they didn't have any interest. They had no idea what the world looked like outside of their own little bubble. And so they didn't really have any curiosity about the world around them because they couldn't imagine what that world would look like. So how can you get excited about something if you don't know it exists? So I thought maybe I could make documentaries, I could make videos as I travel around the world and show kids these places and give them a virtual travel experience in the classroom, bring those videos back to the classroom.
I would like more presentations because this would really help you see more of of outside your world. Because like me, I don't travel a lot, so it's really nice to hear other people from other places to see what they're like.
It makes us step out from our own little world to see what's going on with other people, not just be in your own world with what you have as problems. It makes you see that other people have similar problems to you and you can help them.
I think what it does is it gives life and images and reality to things that teachers can't really get across in a conventional lesson. And I'm really big in trying to encourage use of technology. And this is the kind of use of technology that when people say, well, what is it for? This is what technology is for. It's to connect people in a meaningful way.
The students that we work with through Beyond the Block are students who are at risk of school dropout. And that can mean many different things. We do work with a certain type of school. I'm trying to reach the kids who are disengaged from learning. They don't see a point for education in their lives. They don't see how school is useful to them. They don't see how school is relevant to them. And they don't think that they can apply anything that they learn at school to their daily lives. And we try to teach them something different so that they can apply what they're learning at school to their daily lives. They can become better people, they can become better global citizens, and they can be exposed to a new way of living and a new way of looking at education in general. You have to reach those students who aren't engaged. You have to make sure that every student is exposed to this because every student is participating as a global citizen in the world now. That's just the reality of our situation. That's the reality of our world. Every student is already a global citizen. We need to teach them how to be those global citizens.
There are other people that think different than us and we should learn how to think both ways, how to understand them, not always be against everybody just because they don't have our opinions. We have to learn how to get along with everybody and say it's not just all about us.
There's a lot besides the geography and the languages that different countries use that we need to learn about. We need to learn about sensitivities. We need to learn about culture and what's important to people, and then learn how to respect that. and not just accept it or tolerate it, but actually embrace it.
When we film educational travel documentaries in another country, the first step is to create a connection with an organization that's already there and already familiar with the country. In that sense, they act as kind of cultural gatekeepers, so they can connect us to kids and other adults that we can talk to who can inform the documentary. When we meet these kids who want to be a part of this project, we explain the project to them, we explain the students who we're making the video for, we tell them that this video is being made specifically for students who are having some troubles in school, who maybe aren't taking their education too seriously, who might be dropping out, who might be facing challenges in their life. And this creates already a type of helping relationship where these kids who we're interviewing become more like teaching assistants or, like these cultural consultants who are helping us learn and who are sharing their lives for the betterment of the lives of the kids here in the United States. And so it imbues the documentary with a certain type of emotion, I think, that these kids already start out knowing that they're doing something to try to help kids in the U.S.
The students that spoke with us indicated that they cared about us, and they indicated that they thought about us, and they wanted to give us advice, and they wanted to be part of our lives. And how great is that? To think that somebody else cares for you makes you want to care for them too. And I'd love to see our kids get more of that in their lives.
Most teachers buy into the idea that using personal experience is a great gateway into scaffolding other material for the kids, whatever the content is. And this touches the kids' hearts. This touches the kids where they live, emotionally. So it's great value for that.
Beyond the Block was a good presentation because I learned more about other kids in other countries and how nice they are and sweet and cool they are.
Bueno, lo que nos enseñaron hoy fue muy importante para nosotros y me inspiró a que yo no use drogas o que yo no esté en una pandilla.
Gracias por ayudarnos a aprender más sobre el resto del mundo y cómo piensan.
Gracias por enseñarlos que está mucho buenas cosas allá en el mundo, que no todo está malo.
Beyond the Block helped me because it taught me about their culture and how they acted, so I might want a person from the DR to be my friend.
The passion that we have for engaging with others is transmitted to the kids through our presentations. You cannot fake that. You can't fake that passion. You have to keep your skills sharp. We have to keep traveling. We have to keep getting excited about showing kids what's out there. And aside from that, the kids are always surprised that it's us who film the videos. And they say, "Was that you, miss? Was that you talking in the video?" And I'm like, "Yep." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you went there?" So to see somebody in person who's actually traveled, who's gone to these places, who's come back to tell the story, that in itself is inspiring and helps kids feel like they could do it too. I firmly believe that when we have students in school, when we have them as that captive audience, we have not just an opportunity, but really a mandate to teach these kids, not just academically, but personally. We need to teach them how to be good people. And in today's global climate, we need to teach them how to be good global citizens.
It helps us compare and contrast, compare how are we the same, how are we different. We know what's right, but we just don't apply ourselves. We don't pay much attention.
I like Beyond the Block because it helped me understand values better and to use them better.
I always think, I don't have a lot, but now that I see other places, I see now I see how I must have to take care of myself, study, and try to do everything I can to try to succeed through my life.
What you taught us today could help us in the future by not dropping out, having a bad job, or it doesn't matter whether you're poor or rich, everyone's the same.
Now that I've seen this video, I'm gonna
try and help the community more and definitely nicer to tons of people.
Ideally, I would like this to be an organization that can allow us to provide our services to schools for free. Because some schools can afford us and that's great, but many more cannot. So if we can take away the money obstacle, then the only obstacle schools have is time, making time for us during their school day. And that can definitely be challenging, but administrators and teachers who get what we're doing and know the students that we're trying to reach, usually they do what they need to do to make the time because they know that they aren't getting anything like this from the regular curriculum, and they also know that the students desperately need it.
I mean, I think the curriculum has unlimited potential.
So everything that you're doing with Beyond the Block is a great way to reach out and literally reach out and touch the kids. And the more we can do that, the better people they become too.
I would like Beyond the Block to be at every school because it teaches every kid about different backgrounds and different places and how fortunate people are, and if you don't have everything, you are still fortunate because every person has a special and unique talent to all of them.
Well, it did make me want to focus more on my dream because I want to be a lot of things, but what I mainly want to be is like President of the United States. So it made me think that I shouldn't give up on my dream and I should really study hard.